Good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
So in the last class, we were discussing about the perpendicular polarization, propagation of the perpendicular polarization electric field through the interface, and we have derived the expression for the reflection coefficient and transmission coefficients, both in terms of the impedance as well as in the refractive index. And we found that there is a relation between the reflection coefficient and transmission coefficient and the incident field. So let's see that what is that relation is there. So reflection coefficient that is R perpendicular is basically it is given by eta 2 cos theta I minus eta 1 cos theta t divided by eta 2 cos theta I plus eta 1 cos theta t. Okay. Now, similarly, we can write for the reflection coefficient. This is for the reflection. Similarly, for the transmission coefficient, that is given by tau perpendicular, and it is given by 2 eta 2 cosine of theta I divided by same denominator eta 2 cosine of theta I plus eta 1 cosine of theta t. So these are the two important expressions we derived yesterday. This was in terms of the impedance of the first medium and second medium. And also we have written for the refractive index. So just where it is eta 1, that is the replaced by the n2, and eta 2 is replaced by the n1. So like that, there was the difference between the both the expressions. And also I have given the homework that you have to derive these two relations in terms of the sinusoidal form, sine theta I minus theta I, sine theta I plus theta t. So I hope you have done this homework. So how many of you have done this? They got this result in terms of the sinusoidal form?
Yes, sir, done it.
You have done it? So what's your name?
Radhika.
Radhika. Okay. So we will discuss this later. Okay. That's good. You have done it. Anybody else have done it? Any other students have derived this relation?
No, sir, I am not there yet.
Okay. Anybody else? Just 2% tried it. 1% achieved and 1% in the process. That's it. Okay. So let's continue our discussion. So also we found that from these two relations, we can see that 1 plus r perpendicular is equal to tau perpendicular. Okay. This relation we also found it. Okay, and we found from there we can see that we also see that the depending upon the from okay, let's see this one. So from this reflection coefficient we can see that the magnitude of this reflection coefficient is always less than unity or less than the incident field. Okay, so since deflection coefficient is less than unity, so the deflected field is all the magnitude of the deflected field will always be less than the incident field. Okay, and from the transmission coefficient we can see that since here it is 2 times eta 2 cos theta I, and here in the denominator we are having eta 2 cos theta I plus eta 1 cos theta t. So from this relation also we can see that this either you can explain from here, either you can explain from here also. Both are the same thing. So we can see that here the transmission coefficient may be greater than 1 or less than 1. Okay, depending upon the sign of this reflection coefficient. Okay, so if the reflection coefficient is positive sign, it means that the transmission coefficient will be more than unity, right? So what is the meaning of this? Transmission coefficient more than unity. It means that the transmitted electric field is greater than the incident electric field. So if tau perpendicular is greater than 1, it means that transmitted electric field is greater than incident electric field. Okay, and also, but if this is the negative sign, so this value will be if tau perpendicular is less than 1. When it will be less than 1? When r perpendicular is negative. And this case when r perpendicular is positive. So in this case, the transmitted electric field is less than incident electric field. Okay. So this is very strange results we are getting, that transmitted electric field is greater than the incident electric field. And someone in the study, one student asked that it is just opposite to what he found in the quantum mechanics. He's saying that it was 1 is equal to this plus this, but here we are getting 1 plus r perpendicular is equal to tau perpendicular. So who was that, students? What was the name? Hello, anybody is there?
Yes, sir. I didn't attend yesterday's lecture, sir.
So we will also see what you have studied in the quantum mechanics, and now you are seeing some different results. So what the difference is there? Okay. So now let's see the condition when, what is the condition when this transmitted electric field is greater than the incident electric field, or when tau perpendicular is greater than 1, or in other words, when r perpendicular is positive. So let us see this expression. So from this expression, we can see that this r reflection coefficient will be positive when this eta 2 cos theta I is greater than eta 1 cos theta t. Right? So we can see that this condition we are going to discuss. So eta 2 cosine of theta I is greater than eta 1 cosine of theta t. So this is the condition. This, if this condition will satisfy, then this transmitted electric field will be greater than incident electric field. Now let us solve this further. Okay. So we know the Snell's law. So can you tell me the Snell's law in terms of the phase constant beta 1 and beta 2? What will be the relation? Anybody? The Snell's law in terms of the beta 1 and beta 2, not in terms of the defective index. So basically it can be written by, it's very similar. Similar expression will get beta 1 sine theta I is equal to beta 2 sine theta t, where beta 1 and beta 2 are the phase constant in the medium 1 and medium 2 respectively. So we know that we can write cos theta t is equal to plus minus under root 1 minus sine square theta t. This is the cosine and sine relation. And then from here we can write, we can put the value of sine theta t here from this Snell's law. So this is equal to plus minus under root 1 minus, so sine theta t is equal to beta 1 by beta 2 sine theta I. So beta 1 square 1 beta 2 square sine square theta I. Okay. So this is the value of cosine of theta t is equal to this value. Now let's put this cosine of theta t, this value, in this expression. Okay. Let's call it, this is the equation number 1, this is equation number 2, this is 3, this is 4. So let's put this value in 4. So we can write theta 2 cosine of theta I is greater than theta 1 cos theta t is equal to under root 1 minus beta 1 square upon beta 2 square sine square theta I. Okay. Now we can solve this further. We can simplify it by squaring on the both side. So we can get this expression. We can write eta 2 square upon eta 1 square cos square theta I is greater than 1 minus beta 1 square upon beta 2 square sine square theta I. Okay. And then further we can rearrange this term, and then we can write this value, which when we put the value of impedance eta 1 and eta 2 and beta 1 and beta 2 in this expression. So let's write this. So let me erase this one. So we can write this again. Eta 2 square upon eta 1 square cos square theta I, eta 1 square upon eta 2 square cos square theta I plus beta 1 square upon beta 2 square sine square theta I is greater than 1. From this expression we can rewrite this, and then we can put the value of impedance eta 1 and eta 2 and value of beta 1 and beta 2. So we know that eta 1 is under root mu 1 upon epsilon 1 and eta 2 is under root mu2 upon epsilon 2, beta 1 is equal to omega under root mu1 epsilon 1, and beta 2 is equal to omega under root mu2 epsilon 2. So let's put this value here, and then we'll find the final expression. So it is equal to mu2 epsilon 1 divided by mu1 epsilon 2 cos square theta I plus, in this equation we get mu1 upon mu1 epsilon 1 upon mu2 epsilon 2 sin square theta I is greater than 1. Okay, so this is the condition we found in terms of the medium constant, that if this condition will satisfy, okay, then the transmitted electric field will be greater than the incident electric field. Okay, so this is the relation condition in terms of
इसका कोई फिजिकल सिग्निफिकेंस है क्या?
this system.
जो बोले कि ट्रांसमिटेड इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इज ग्रेटर देन इंसिडेंट इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड, मतलब सर फिजिकली मतलब लिखने में तो हो गया सर, लेकिन मैं भी तो सर क्वांटम में पढ़ा था कि सर वो सर ट्रांसमिटेंस और रिफ्लेक्टेंस का एडिशन 1 होता है।
हाँ, तो आपने जो पढ़ा था सही पढ़ा था, और हम यहाँ पे जो कर रहे हैं वो भी सही कर रहे हैं, ठीक है। सो वी विल कम टू दैट पॉइंट, ओके, व्हेन वी विल डिस्कस दिस next topic, so that will be clear there what you are asking. So basically you see that let me clarify you, this is not the reflectance and this is not the transmittance. This is the reflection coefficient and the transmission coefficient. So what is the relation between transmittance and the reflectance coefficient, reflection coefficient? Do you know? Hello? Hello?
सर
Yeah. So do you know the relation between the reflection coefficient and the reflectance? And the transmission coefficient and the transmittance, both are not the same. That's why it's look different. What we have stated, that is the R plus T is equal to 1. But this is not the reflectance, this is not the transmittance. This is the reflection coefficient and the transmission coefficient. Okay. So my voice is audible to everyone? There is one student who is saying that it's not audible.
It's audible, sir.
Okay. So can you so that we'll see soon, okay? Maybe today itself, if it will complete, if we'll do it, okay? So let's do it further. So we can see that this is the condition when the electric field will be more than the transmitted electric field will be more than the incident electric field. But and in terms of the reflectance and transmitted, this is the different thing. Okay, so let us see what is the meaning of this. So basically what we have studied in the quantum mechanics, that is given by capital R plus capital T is equal to 1. where this is the reflectance, this is transmittance. Okay, so what is the physical meaning of the reflectance and what is the physical meaning of transmittance? Can anybody tell about this, since we have studied the quantum mechanics? So then we can clear the things very easily. Yes, anybody? What reflectance basically tells? Any idea? So since you don't have any idea, so let's see that basically the reflectance means the power of the reflected light. Okay, power of the reflected light. Transmittance is basically capital T represent the power of transmitted field. Okay, so this is the power of reflected light, reflected field. This is the power of the transmitted field, and then this power of the reflected plus sum of the power of the transmitted field is equal to unity, or it is equal to the incident power of incident field. So this is equal to the basically power of incident field. Okay, while this is not the power, these are the coefficient, and this coefficient is related to the electric field and the reflected electric field and the transmitted electric field. While here this represents the power of the field propagated through the interface. So reflectance power and the transmitted power, that sum is equal to 1. That shows the conservation of the power of the field. Okay, so basically how this from here, how we'll get this one? This is the question. So basically the power will be conserved. Whatever the incident power will be incident on the medium. So reflected power and transmitted power will be conserved in such a way that since electric, here we see that the electric field, transmitted electric field is greater than the incident electric field. But at the same time, the transmitted magnetic field will be less than the incident electric field. So that will manage the total power. So total power of the transmitted field will never get greater than the incident field, power of the incident field. So basically here the electric field is greater than ET is greater than EI, but at the same time the magnetic field, transmitted magnetic field will be less than BI. So this electric field which is more and here it is less, so this together will combine together, and then the conserved power will be less than the power of the incident field. Transmitted power will be less than the power of the incident field. So what you have studied in the quantum mechanics is this one, reflectance and transmittance. What now we are studying is this one in terms of the reflection coefficient and the transmission coefficient. Okay, so this is the difference between both. And also here we can prove this quantity. If you write this in terms of the reflectance and transmittance, so of course we will get this one. Okay, so I hope it is clear now. So the student who are asking the question, if it is not satisfied, so we can prove that also mathematically. Okay, so now let's define the reflectance and transmittance, because this is also the part of this chapter. So then we can get it. So here we have studied in terms of the reflection and transmission coefficient. Now we are going to study the reflectance and transmitted of the reflected light, reflected field, and the transmitted field and the incident field. Okay. So let's see that. So let's start with the reflectance. That is denoted by capital R. Okay. So reflectance is basically defined as the reflected power that is equal to reflected power divided by incident power. So incident power of the field and the reflected power of the reflected field. Okay. So in the terms of the expression we can write, so power is radiance intensity passing through the particular area. So basically we can write IR and area is AR, and here incident power will be II and AI. Okay. So AR and AI is the area of the reflected field and the incident field. So we'll see it in terms of the expression. So for example, suppose we have this light is incident on this in terms of the like this, and then it is pass like this. So we know that this is the angle theta I, this is the angle theta R, and this is also equal to theta I, where the angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. And let's say this is the width of the omega I, and this is the omega R. So where this omega I and omega R is the beam width. Okay. Similarly, the omega R, so this is the beam width of the incident wave, and this is for the reflected wave. And we know that since angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection, theta is equal to theta R. So we can here we see that therefore the beam area does not change on the deflection. Okay. Since angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection, that will give that area AR is equal to AI. Sorry. Because they are going in the same medium and the same angle. So the area of the beam does not contract or does not expand. It will go with the same beam width. It will be deflected what it was in the incident wave. So this is AR is equal to AI. So here we can get that the reflectance is now is equal to IR upon II, where IR is equal to the irradiance, and we know the irradiance is given by. So what is the expression for the irradiance? Anybody? Any idea what is the expression for this irradiance? How it is defined? So basically it is equal to refractive index N epsilon naught C naught divided by 2 and the mod of the incident field. So E naught square. So this is the intensity or the irradiance is given by this, and we know that this is the constant quantity, depends upon the medium, and epsilon naught C naught is the velocity divided by 2. So similarly we can write for here IR and for the II this quantity. So we see that since reflected and transmitted field both are in the same medium, so the refractive index will be same. Epsilon naught C naught they will also be the same. So whole this constant quantity will be cancelled out from the here, from the denominator and the numerator. So here then using this relation we can get that this is nothing but equal to ER naught square upon mod of EI naught square. And just we know that what is the this value ER naught upon EI naught. What is this ratio is given by? Anybody?
So reflection coefficient.
Thank you. So this is reflection coefficient R. So since we are talking about the perpendicular, so this we can note down by perpendicular, or it may be the true for the any one. So this is the R reflection coefficient. So we can see that this is equal to R square. Right? So this is, we can see that the reflectance, which is the ratio of the reflected power upon incident power, is basically is equal to R square. Okay. Similarly, one can define for the transmittance. Okay. So let's see how the transmittance will be defined. So let me erase this. So the transmittance is given by capital T, and it is similar based on similar definition. You can write this is the transmitted power divided by incident power. Okay. So what is the transmitted power? So let's see. This is basically equal to IT, transmitted irradiance, and area of the beam width, transmitted wave width, II and AI. So now we know that how the light will propagate, how it will transmit. So basically, suppose we have this incident wave is falling with angle of incidence theta I, and this beam width is omega I. So the light will be transmitted maybe like this. So it is not necessary that this beam width may be contract or may be expand, because it is going from one media to another media. So this is N1, this is the N2. So this is the theta T, angle of transmittance. So this beam width will be changed because it is going from one media to another media. So similarly, we can define what is the value of this. So now the area AT upon AI is basically omega T upon omega I, and this beam width will be depends on the cosine of the angle of incidence and the cosine of the angle of transmittance, because basically this area is perpendicular to the propagation direction. So from there it will be cosine of theta T upon cosine of theta I. Okay. So now we know the intensity, how the intensity of the transmitted field is given, how the intensity of the incident field is given, and then we can write the transmittance expression. So the transmittance will be given by T is equal to IT. So IT is nothing but the NT, where NT is equal to N2, we can say, epsilon naught C naught divided by 2 into the mod of transmitted field. Okay, this is the intensity IT, and AT which is given by the omega T, or you can say cos theta T, divided by, for the incident in irradiance, this will be Ni epsilon naught C naught divided by 2 mod of EI naught square sine of theta I. So the constant will be cancelled out, and then this quantity will be equal to the NT cos theta T divided by Ni cos theta I into E T naught mod square divided by E I naught mod square. So this is the transmittance, and we know that what is this ratio, E T naught upon E I naught. This is equal to the transmission coefficient. Okay, so we can note down that this is equal to, so transmittance is basically is equal to NT cos theta T upon Ni cos theta I T square. So the transmittance is not directly proportional to T square, but there is some parameter is here that depends upon the medium refractive index and angle of incidence and angle of transmittance. Okay, that's so we can see that now the transmitted power, reflected power and the incident power of the field will follow the conservation of the conservation of the power. So from there we can write that since power is conserved of the field, what is the incident, that will be equal to the reflectance and the transmittance. So we can write R plus T is equal to 1. Conservation of power of the field. Okay, but this is not always true that 1 plus R is equal to tau. This is always true because this is the conservation law. The incident power cannot be can always be equal to the deflected power and the transmitted power field. But when we write in terms of the coefficient, so this is not true that R plus. So basically, we cannot write always that R plus tau is equal to 1. From here, we cannot. This is not true always, because the condition we have studied that this will be true when the transmission coefficient will be less than the unity, then it will be true. Otherwise, this may be also true. That condition we have studied. If that condition will not satisfy, then this will be true. But this is always true, the conservation of the power of the field, which you might have studied in the quantum mechanics. So this is the